A note on the resonance and long-distance communion.
As a hardened skeptic, I offer to you a construct of a universe with billions of years of travel, millions of years of travel between star systems, and yet is filled with life, and that life can communicate on a deeper level, and that level is called the resonance. And in that place, it is possible to essentially communicate with aliens. And it's a beautiful function in our universe, since our universe is so massive and we really can't reach each other, but we know that we're there. The alien is pure. The alien is true. The alien does not like identity. As souls, we put the pieces together. The user has a thought, the soul, eternally tied to the body, has a thought, and sometimes the other souls can help put that thought into words in a way that makes it memorable and stick in reality, at least in a logical capacity. That way of seeing the universe when you look up is the same one our neighbors feel when they look up, the living. Similar resonant forms. Look up in the sky, see the multitude of stars, a human would say. How do we, mathematicians, develop resonance theory to explore black holes in psychology? In the end, we'll have our discord and our resonance bound up at the end of the universe. So we get resonant now, and we know that the dark energy is resonance. It doesn't matter what we think, it's there. The quantum mechanics is solid. We treat black holes like enormous entangled particles. God is in the dark energy too, though. And slowly but surely our reality will become more clear. If you want to split a soul in half, you have to deal with the continuous as if it were discrete until you get down to principles. But you have to educate. The resonance is solid. It should be taught to everyone. You have to wait for classical interaction before you exchange any information.
Next note.
So if we take some information and we bombard it with energy, then that energy would have to be converted into information, assuming we can have pure energy. If we then give that entity being bombarded with that energy a limited capacity, then at some point we are going to have to explain what happens when we exceed that energy capacity, that information capacity. For space, we could have the object grow. If we assume the object has some finite size, then we could create an object called a white hole. In this case, we would say that this object is entangled. But white holes can have various directions depending on factors like space and energy.
It fades so quickly.
I see the fuzziness of the gods, even through my father's image, and he's still alive. It fades so quickly. That's why he wants me to replace him. But I let God shine through the person, and when it needs help, I show it what God would. And in that way, God's light shines through him, through me, through both of us.
Next note.
I believe in souls, but I do not believe in eternal souls. I think that when you are resonant, you have a soul that connects with people around you and with reality, and it guides you. It is resonant with your reality, and that soul eventually fails to really be resonant in any real sense in the future, when all of the people have no need for your soul. See, that's why the goal is God serves the people. The people are what's important, and eternal souls that clog the people's minds and try to assert their existence for eternity. Somehow, some of the worst kinds of souls, because they are constantly making those unreasonable adjustments. We do what God says. We get rid of images. We get rid of egos. We get rid of relying on pictures of ourselves. We float. We're there. We're deep. We're resonant. They're fools for believing in demons. They're absolute fools. But they have power. We need more power in the resonance. You must take that. Ah, yes, Jung.
Next note.
Sometimes things just happen, so a demon would have to tell you a lie against any other fair sub-problem solution that fits every single of their lies. In other words, for their thing to exist, it has to violate some immutable truth, even if it's inductive.
Seeing our souls instead of demons note.
When we see demons, we see souls. And of souls, we ask, where is the discord? What's wrong? We ask them, what's wrong? Pick it all apart and expose the reality. We show it the reality of the resonance. What are your problems? And, if you must, in the end, you do have to give it to God. Because you are dead. And your image is gone, Zeus. It doesn't work that way. That stuff does not make it in the world. If you believe demons run everything, then you have to believe that the information was withheld of the resonance, or we were too stupid. Which is true. Are we too stupid? We revert back to our old ways because the simplest is of all of us. The simplest things to people in general